What's happening, people? It's your boy Jordan back with another video, guys. We have another video from the Johnny Depp case, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. We got some fiery exchanges here between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's lawyer. I believe this happened yesterday on the 25th. Let me just sort the camera there. It's not so straight. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So far, so good from Johnny Depp, really. I mean, the only video that I've seen him be aggressive or angry in that manner was with the cupboards. Apart from that, I haven't really seen or heard too much. I mean, I've heard some emotional audio recordings from him. Obviously, around the time his mother was very sick. So listen, as a man, as a human being, you're going to have string of emotions. You're going to be angry at times. You're going to get upset. And when you have someone that is just constantly nagging in your ear, trying to get a reaction out of you, it's not going to be easy, you know? But I don't believe he's put his hands on her. I don't believe he's physically abused her or in an aggressive, violent manner tried to attack her. I definitely think that she's trying to use him as clout. She's trying to get a reaction out of him, really trying to press for that. And you can just hear in every single audio, every single video, I'm just going to split, man. I'm just going to leave. Like, I want to leave. Like, that doesn't sound like an abusive man. That sounds like a man who's trying to run away and get away from that situation. But anyway, guys, keep up the comments, man. I will respond to you in the comment section. I hope you're enjoying this content so far. Let me know if you want more Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case reaction videos. I can do that for you, or any other kinds of content. Yeah, I can get that delivered. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
The first one is called the
Ms. Heard's publicity team.
Mr. Depp. We're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible.
I'm just
I'm going to ask you about the first one. Well, we're going to talk about them. The first one is entitled is from The Guardian. You see that?
Apparently drunk.
Yes, and this is an article from November 15th, 2014, entitled "Apparently Drunk Johnny Depp Cut Off at Hollywood Film Awards Ceremony." Correct?
Wow.
That's what it says, yes, sir.
And the next article is an article from May 7th, 2016. It's entitled "Johnny Depp, Friends and Family Seriously Concerned About Him. Here's Why."
Yes.
Correct?
How did they know?
The next article, 2017, before Ms. Heard filed for a restraining order, a year and a half before she published. No, sorry, this would be after May 1st, 2017. The headline is "Johnny Depp has a clear and epic sense of entitlement, ex-managers say." Published
Yes.
in the Hollywood Reporter, correct?
I was in a lawsuit with him, sir.
The next article from May 10th, 2017 is entitled "Johnny Depp, a Star in Crisis and the Insane Story of His Missing Millions." Did I read that right?
That's straight from the same lawsuit, sir.
The next article, also from May 10th, 2017, a year and a half before the op-ed was published, says Johnny Depp reportedly drank heavily and was constantly late on the new Pirates movie set. Did I read that right?
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are all
article,
hit
also
pieces.
from May
These
10th,
are drags,
2017.
sir.
Mr.
This
Depp,
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking.
What's your
The next
Mr.
question,
Rottenborn?
the next document, an article published.
Hang on, you're saying that you want him to respond to the question. You're not even letting him have his say on the matter.
That I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
Mr.
question,
Rottenborn?
the next document, an article published in Vanity Fair on May 10th, 2017.
Yes.
Well, that's
Entitled "Johnny Depp's Financial Woes Might Sink the Next Pirates of the Caribbean." Did I read that right?
Don't be silly.
You
Say that again. Say that again.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hang on. Let's go back
Johnny
to that.
Depp's financial woes might sink the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Did I read that right?
You did. I don't know
The
how
next
my
article-
financial woes would do.
Pirates of the Caribbean wouldn't be where it is without Johnny Depp. You idiot.
May 25th, 2017, a year and a half before the op-ed was published, an article entitled "Where Did It All Go Wrong for Johnny Depp? After a string of flops and a ton of bad press, Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank." Did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, May 27th, 2017. Headline, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Diminishing Returns of Johnny Depp. Did I read that right?
You certainly did. Hollywood Reporter were very nice to me at the time.
July 12th, 2017. Why are all of Johnny Depp's movies bombing at the box office? Did I read that right?
Do you know what they're doing? They're trying to cause an outrage in him, and he's just not going to do it. It's just not who he is, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately for them and the attorneys and the lawyers, they're obviously going off Amber Heard's story. So it's just embarrassing for them at this point, really.
Certainly did.
November 4th, 2017. A year and a month before Amber published the op-ed. Headline, Johnny Depp allegedly showed up drunk to movie premiere, reports say. Did I read that
Allegedly,
correctly?
reports say. This is hearsay. is
June
it not?
21st,
Your
2018,
favorite word.
6 months before the op-ed was published. Vanity Fair article, The Real Reason Johnny Depp Used an Earpiece on a Film Set.
I
What?
think that was
I
explained
read
in
that
court
correctly?
the other day. Oh, you did, yeah.
June 21st, 2018, 6 months before the op-ed was published. A Rolling Stone article entitled The Trouble with Johnny Depp. Multi-million-dollar lawsuits, a haze of booze and hash, a marriage gone very wrong, and a lifestyle he can't afford inside the trials of Johnny Depp.
Wow.
You did. You should read the article. It's
And the
wonderful.
last one, June 22nd, 2018, the Daily Mail, vodka for breakfast, 72-hour drug binges, and spending sprees that beggar belief. Alison Boshoff reveals why Hollywood's reeling over what's being called Johnny Depp's career suicide note. Did I read that correctly?
You did. Who's Alison Boshoff and how does she know?
Mr. Depp, you can't name
Oh, it
a
won't
single
answer that, I see.
actress who has benefited in her career by coming forward and stating that she was the victim of domestic violence, can you?
I'm sorry, what was
Objection
that?
calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
When Amber made abuse accusations against you in May 2016, fair to say it got a lot of press attention, right?
Objection calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
When Amber
Shit.
made abuse accusations against you in May 2016, you became aware that it got a lot of press attention, correct?
Very quickly, I became aware.
And she became associated with those abuse accusations that she made against you in May 2016, correct? To your knowledge.
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You became
Damn.
associated with those domestic abuse accusations that she made against you, correct?
Objection.
I think that's clear.
And
yes.
you understood that she became associated with those same accusations that she made, correct? You've testified to that.
Well, she had a choice. I didn't.
And you've talked about the
Damn.
immediate impact that those accusations on May 27th, 2016 allegedly had on your career, correct?
Yes.
You testified earlier in your examination on direct that when Amber made those accusations in 2016, you said you lost, quote, nothing less than everything, correct?
That is correct, sir.
But you didn't try to get the restraining order lifted in 2016, did you?
I don't. If she wanted a
It's
restraining
a yes or
order,
no question. You didn't try to get the restraining
No,
order
why
lifted, did
would
you? And you didn't have a divorce trial where you could respond to Amber's accusations of abuse in 2016, did you?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm asking him if he had a trial. That's
All
a
right,
fact.
I'll allow-
You didn't have a divorce trial where you could respond to Amber's accusations of abuse, did you?
No, there were no charges pressed against
You
me.
chose
She didn't
not
tell
to-
the police that I had done anything. She didn't mention my name.
And you didn't have a California divorce judge decide these facts, did you?
Objection asked and answered.
I'll
You
sustain the
chose
objection.
you
Next
chose not to try to clear your name at that time through any sort of legal proceeding, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
And you chose to sign a divorce agreement in which you stated that Amber had not made any false statements about you for financial gain. We looked at that, correct?
Objection, asked and answered.
Asked and answered, I'll sustain the objection. Next
In
question.
fact, you waited until Amber wrote the op-ed in the Washington Post in December of 2018 to file a lawsuit against her, correct?
What do you mean you waited?
That is correct.
Can you pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 2, please?
It was the only time that I
Permission
was
to
able
publish,
to
Your Honor?
speak and use my own voice.
Wow.
You chose not to sue the Washington Post in this lawsuit, correct?
Exhibit 2 is an evidence.
Objection, relevance, asked and answered.
It's not been asked and answered.
Hasn't been asked and answered, but I'm not sure what the relevance is.
You chose to sue only Ms. Heard and not the newspaper that published this article, correct?
Objection, compound.
All right, I'll sustain as to compound.
You chose not to sue the Washington Post, correct?
Objection, relevance.
You only sued the
Oh.
author of this article, Amber Heard, correct?
Which seems she was the one making the statements. Yes, I had the opportunity to fight back.
Permission to publish Exhibit 2, Your Honor.
All right, Exhibit 2 is already in evidence, so we'll publish.
Mr. Depp, you realize that the only job for this jury to decide, its only job, is to determine whether this op-ed and this op-ed alone is defamatory.
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
I'll sustain the objection.
This is the only writing that that's the subject of this lawsuit that you brought, correct?
Same objection.
It's fact, Your Honor. He
Yeah,
only brought
I'll
the
allow that
lawsuit.
question. I'll allow that question.
This is a version of that story of the op-ed that I have never seen. The one that was published before, the only one I've ever seen is the one that was published prior to this. They changed the title because they were in fear of trouble.
Well, I moved to strike that last testimony, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, clear.
Whether it's the online edition or this edition in the paper, this article is the only statement, the only publication of anything that's the subject of the lawsuit that you brought, correct?
Objection, asked and answered.
I'll sustain the objection.
This op-ed, Mr. Depp, does not discuss any of the details of your relationship that we've seen in texts and emails and recordings over the past few days, does it?
Objection, compound, and asked and answered.
I'll sustain both objections.
Whoa, that shit. Okay, that was getting deep there. I mean, listen, we all know what the lawyer's trying to do. All right. He can sit there or stand there all day asking about these different op-eds and all these articles that have been written about the situation. But obviously it's just, for me, I understand where they're trying to go with it, but it's like, there's just not enough data. There's not enough package to really, I mean, if they're, trying to find out whether he was abusive or find out whether he was abusive to her and all this stuff, like, there's just not enough to really back her story and her, especially in the article that she wrote on behalf of herself. It's like, there's not enough for me. I mean, anyone can write a story in the article and write a story, but it's like, there's no evidence, there's no proof of him doing this. Like, there's no physical evidence. There's been witnesses that have been coming up in this trial saying when they've seen her physically and they've seen her, face to face, there's no scars, there's no bruises, there's no this, it's just like, the only thing they actually have over him is, okay, the articles and maybe that video. But apart from that, there isn't much for the jury to look at and be like, do you know what? Yeah, he's guilty. Like, there's nothing. I just personally think, man, like, either Amber Heard's just, I think her lawyers are good. They sound very proficient. They're good. There's been some videos where they've screwed up a few times, but it's very hard to be a lawyer for someone where their story just doesn't line up, and then the lawyers start to sound a little bit crazy, a little bit hesitant in their questions, a little bit repetitive. It's just like, you're not getting anywhere. Where's this going? So for me, if I was a member of the jury, and it's not the fact that I'm a fan of Johnny Depp. I mean, I liked Amber Heard in the Aquaman films. I thought I was like, oh my God, she's an attractive woman. I had nothing against Amber Heard at that time. And that goes for all women, you know. It's got nothing to do with being a man and, you know, loving Johnny Depp and being a fan of his. Because if if they did find evidence and proof of him being abusive, then I would, you know, I'd have a completely different perception and, you know, view on Johnny Depp. I probably wouldn't be a fan of his anymore. So that's got nothing to do with it. And I think you can tell as a human being who's lying, who's telling the truth, you know. And if I was a member of the jury, I would be on Johnny Depp's side all day long. With the evidence, the facts, the data, statistics, all this stuff that's coming together now, as we go further into this case, I just can't see Amber Heard's story lining up here. I can't find anything, you know. So listen, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section. As I always say, I love to hear from you guys and what you think is going to go down and what you have thought of the case so far. And let me know your thoughts. Maybe, you know, correct me in this. Maybe I'm missing something that I haven't seen. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Here with your boy Jordan GK, and I'll see you in the next video.